Hey, thank you guys for joining me for another episode of On the Couch with Fouch. Tonight I have the great opportunity of interviewing Doug Anderson of Ernie Haase and Signature Sound. Thanks so much for joining me, Doug.
Oh man, I'm thrilled to be here. Thanks for asking.
I can tell you're thrilled to be here.
I
You got
am.
that big smile on your face.
Well, the great thing is we've known each other for a long, long time.
True.
Go back to the Ohio Valley region with the regional groups. You were with Sold Out. I was with Lighthouse. So you made full circle, man, and I'm proud of you.
Well, I appreciate it. Thank you very much. And, let me say, with you saying that, kind of open the door there, let me just say thank you for your friendship over the years. I remember coming to Bluffton, Indiana to hear you sing with Ernie Haase and Signature Sound. I'm originally from Muncie, for those of you that don't know, and I went with a friend to Bluffton, heard Ernie Haase Signature Sound. I walked up to Doug, just started a conversation, talking with him, and he was so kind, gave me his number, said, man, if you need anything, let me know. You came to the studio, was Sold Out, and worked with us for a day in the studio, man. You've just been so kind, so thank you.
Well, you're welcome.
Appreciate your friendship. So one thing I want you all to know is that we had talked about doing a sports edition of On the Couch with Fouch, because Doug is a huge sports fan. He likes to work out, he likes to run, he loves to play ultimate frisbee, he loves basketball, just anything that has to do with working out, sports, stuff like that. He loves it. So we were going to dress up in muscle shirts and shorts and have
we were going to work out while we did the
interview. It was going to be awesome. But then we didn't have the time to do it, and then we had to be in here for the concert, and so now we're in our suits. And it's kind of boring to me because this is just typical in our suits. But going with the idea of, the athletics, the sports, there's a lot of questions from people just talking about, what do you do to stay active? And maybe you can just give the folks a couple tips right off the bat.
I don't know about tips. Active. I do what works for me. Hi. You want to be on the couch with Fouch?
This kind lady over here is offering to give us a little fire. Oh, man.
That's nice.
That's beautiful.
You know what?
Anyways, back to this.
What works for me doesn't work for everybody else. I played ball in college, and of course, was very active at that point. And then as you get older, as you will find out, you start to hurt a little bit more, and you can't do the things that you used to. So I started running, and that's usually what I do every day. It's something that it's actually become more mental than physical for me right now, because I'll go out and that's my prayer time, that's my devotional time, and it's something that I love to do, and I do it every morning, and it's kind of caught on with the group as well. The guys are active as well, so we've kind of stayed active together, and when you have workout partners, it's a lot easier. Just getting up and doing something to move your body, it cannot hurt you, and I love it, and that's why I do it.
Very cool. So once again, to give you guys a little bit of info here, insight into what we were planning to do, I was going to bring a 3-pound weight that was
aerobic
purple. Weight. Yeah, an aerobic weight.
Dumbbell.
Yeah, and then he was going to have a 25-pound dumbbell, or something. And I was going to be sitting here because he's a little bit more fit than I am, a little bit more muscular than I am. So that was going to be fun. I wish we could have done it.
I wish we could have. Maybe we just need a physical fitness edition.
That would be awesome. Maybe sometime we'll get a chance to do another one, and it'll just be.
I'd love that.
Physical fitness. I
like
that.
You heard it.
We're going to do it again sometime, and we're going to do that. That's going to be great. So you mentioned about us meeting the Ohio Valley area, Indiana, that kind of spot, and another lot of questions that people had was just about how you got started into gospel music, how you got the job with Ernie Haase Signature Sound, who you sang with before, and you mentioned Lighthouse. But just kind of give everybody an idea for those who don't know.
Well, I was a sports fanatic, and I played sports in college. We've already covered that. But when I got to college, I knew I wasn't going to go any farther than playing college basketball. So I needed money in college, and I started singing in the studios around West Lafayette, Indiana. Of course, my family sang growing up, just like most stories of people growing up singing in their church. My family sang, and then I wound up getting more and more opportunities to sing in studios, background vocals and demos and stuff like that. Then I jumped in and sang with a couple of local quartets. That's where I met you.
Right.
And then I met Ernie Haase in Franklin, Ohio one night. We had the same loves with quartet music and basketball. And I thought to myself, man, if I can just get to know him then I have a great friend.
Right.
So that night he said, if I ever start a group, I'm going to call you. And I thought, yeah, right. He's not going to call me. But 2 years later, we stayed in contact, and 2 years later, he did call. And 13 years later, here we are.
Wow. Very cool.
It's been a great journey.
I mean, and that's another example of you just never know. People ask us, I'm sure you get this question all the time, hey, how do I get started? What do I do to get a job singing with a group? Or how do I... Okay, here's what you do. Here's some of the stuff you can do. Make sure it's what you need to be doing. Make sure it's what you want to. Make sure it's what God wants you to do. But next, start networking with people. You just never know when you go to a concert, when you're out and about at your church, when you're meeting people, you're exchanging emails, exchanging phone numbers. You never know what connection is going to lead to a possible job in the future, or just a friendship that you're going to cherish for years to come.
Stay persistent with it.
Yeah. So that is another thing that just make sure you keep in mind. Make sure you're networking, building those relationships and those friendships, because you never know where they'll lead.
That's right, man.
So, with that being said, before I get to the individual questions, everyone, well, probably most people have already heard that the next phase in your life is to do a solo ministry.
About 4 years ago, Ernie approached me to do a solo project. And of course, I've always been a team guy. I mean, I've always played team sports, and it wasn't really something I was interested in at the time. But we were getting emails and letters to start that, so I thought, why not? So we tried it. And the first CD had some success, had a lot of fun with that. And then the second CD, Drive, we were able to win 2 Dove Awards on that CD. And then the solo dates started picking up more and more. Well, I was trying to do all the Signature Sound stuff and then do all the solo stuff as well, which if you know me at all, I'm a huge family guy. I mean, my family does everything together. And although it breaks my heart in many, many ways, to be able to control my own schedule and to be able to be home when I want to be home and to be a part of those events. I mean, at least for the next 5 or 6 years, my kids are going to be home that long, and then they're going to go do their own thing. Who knows what happens after that? But I just felt in my heart, I'm not going to be one of those guys that say, God told me to do this, and God, I have lived a dream with Signature Sound. And nobody would even know my name if it wasn't for Ernie and the guys. So, but at this point in my life and where my kids are, it's very important for me to be a dad and to be present and be at home and to be able to be at some of those big events that are important to them as well. And that's what made my decision. And you know what? It's been great so far. And I ask for prayers from you. It's a little scary, of course.
Right, I'm sure.
I've done the same thing for 13 years. But God's providing as we speak, and things are going well. So I covet your prayers on that.
So tell them where they can, hear some samples, get your schedule so they can come see you, buy your albums, whatever. Tell them where they can do that.
Well, of course, my website is DougAndersonMusic.com. And then, of course, all my CDs and projects are on iTunes as well. And you go there, everybody. You can go see stuff on YouTube. My schedule's on my site. I'm on Facebook, Twitter, of course, just like everybody else. And things are booking up great. And, man, I'm thrilled.
So I do want to ask you this question, just a personal question, talking about your solo CDs. I know that you have had bass singers on a couple songs on your solo CDs. But I want to know not who did the best job, but who was your favorite bass singer that you had on your solo CD?
Only Here for a Little While was a song that we did on my last Dreamin' Wide Awake CD, which won Country Album of the Year. All thanks to Matt Fouch. And everybody wants to know who that bass singer is, and it is you, my friend, and thank you very much for doing it.
Only Here for a Little While on Dreamin' Wide Awake.
Yes.
I had the opportunity to sing the bass part in that song.
And you did a step out line.
I did?
Yeah.
I can't remember how it goes exactly now.
I don't remember either. But
No, it was this.
It was good.
You said, I'm going to hold who needs holding. I go, gonna.
Those 2 words made him rich, too.
I'm still waiting on some kind of
your royalty
award or something.
Yeah. Well, I need to get you one.
From you winning that
we can
album
get you
of the year
like
or whatever.
a Duck Award or something.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. But no, so I'm glad that I'm your favorite bass singer on that album. Man. So that was a privilege and really fun to do. Elaine Harcourt would like to know, who are your musical mentors?
Well, of course, we listen to all kinds of music in our house, and Of course, the vocal band was always huge in my house growing up. Actually, my first love was a group called the Henson Family. I love the Hensons, and I love the Happy Goodmans. Of course, you can't, I learned quartet music by listening to the Cathedrals. I mean, who didn't? But I got a wide variety. We listened to all kinds of music in our house. But I would say those young, early, the Goodmans and the Hensons, I love that stuff. Of course, I love the secular and the country stuff as well. But those would be the people that molded the way I want to sing and the music that I want to sing.
Right. Very cool. Kennedy Johnson would like to know, and those of you who don't know, Devin McGlamory is with Ernie Haase Signature Sound as well. And he can be a little, if you've seen the video, the interview that I did with him last year, you know that he can be a little off the chain sometimes, a little unpredictable.
Yeah, I'd say loud.
Loud is
Loud.
a good word to use there. But Kennedy Johnson wants to know, what is the most annoying thing that Devin has done to you?
Well, I love him to death, and he's like my little brother, and he always will be. But he never shuts up, ever. And I mean, never. And I love him to death.
So I'm just putting words in your mouth.
Right.
The most annoying thing that he has done to you is talk nonstop.
Nonstop.
All right. So I think that might answer the next question, but
Okay.
we'll see. Christian Johnson wants to know, do you see a D&D, that's a Doug and Devin,
Right.
CD, DVD combo, a recording together in your future?
I don't know. We've done some concerts together, and we've done it in the summertime, and it's been fun. We always take a piano player with us, and we have a blast.
So who MCs those nights?
We both do. I mean, we have.
He lets you talk.
Well, sometimes he does most of it. You can't stop him. But we do. We had a great time, man, and I love him to death. You know that.
Yeah.
We've been buddies for a long, long time.
And I haven't known Devin as long as I've known you, but I've known him for a long time as well. So we
He's
joke,
my
we joke and
workout
fun.
buddy.
We
Yes.
joke and fun.
He's my workout buddy. We do everything together.
Right. Daniel Mount, thank you, Daniel, for your question, as always.
I love Daniel.
He wants to know, Ernie Haase's Signature Sound has been known for cutting edge or unusual looks or dress.
Right.
Do you ever think, when you're trying on those clothes or looking at something you're going to wear, do you ever think, man, I hope my girls aren't laughing at this in 10 years?
Well, that's a great question, because we said we wanted to look back when we first started the group, and we were putting on the wild jackets and the shoes and everything.
The short
We said
ties.
back then. That's right, and that was a happy accident. But we said that we wanted to look back in 10 years and think, what in the world were we thinking? And you know what? We did it.
Yes.
I look at those pictures. My hair was spiked 2 inches high.
Oh, yeah.
And but hey, it made a statement. I don't know what statement it made, but it did make a statement.
Well, people recognized. I remember I don't know if it was my first year at NQC, maybe my second year, but you guys went out there, short ties. I mean, people started tying their ties short
I know.
because you guys were doing it.
It's crazy.
I mean, spiked hair. There was kids running around NQC with spiked hair, ties to here. I mean, it was weird, but it was crazy.
It was very weird.
But I mean, so I guess
It did open a lot of doors.
you did. So to answer his question, you did look at stuff you were doing and say,
Yeah.
but you didn't think, I hope my girls don't laugh at me. You said, man, I hope they do laugh at me because we want to do something different.
That's right. We wanted to look
Interesting.
back and be a little bit embarrassed, and I am at this point.
You have got to look on Google or something for
Yeah.
photos. They're out there.
Crazy stuff.
Let's see. The next question is from Connie Nickel. Thank you for your question. And she wants to know how old you were when you got saved.
Wow. I remember, actually, I mean, if we're going to talk about the formality, I remember walking down the aisle and accepting Jesus when I was 7 years old. Now, I do think in saying that, I didn't know totally about my faith and the journey and the struggles that I would go through. And I think that my faith has gotten stronger as it goes. Actually, I'm 41 years old now, and I know less now than I did when I was 18. So, but God's always been faithful to me, and I've always been surrounded by good, godly people. So that's helped in the journey where you make a mistake or you have fallen out. I think He's always there when you know that stuff and that's in your mind. I think you're always growing, and I think we're always still growing as Christians.
So thank you for your question. Eric Eldridge would like to know, do Hoosiers make up some of the best talent in Southern gospel music?
Well, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, you're a Hoosier yourself.
Matt Fouch, Doug Anderson,
Bill
Gaither.
I mean, you could throw him in there. Gloria Gaither.
If you had to. I mean, my goodness.
We've done pretty well, I think.
Yeah, I'm sitting here trying to think. A lot of people, you don't know where they're originally from. Sometimes, they say, like, right now, people think I'm from Kentucky. Well, I live in Kentucky. I'm not necessarily from there, but, you just never know where someone's actually from. A lot of people from Indiana.
We forgot Ernie Haase.
Ernie Haase.
Newburgh,
that's right.
Indiana.
Correct. So there's some good ones out there, Eric. Denise Young, and this is an odd question, unusual. What was your favorite subject in school?
History.
History. I liked history as well.
I loved U.S. history, and I just love to hear things. And even when we travel now, I like to go to the monuments and stuff. Actually, I'm getting ready to go to D.C. with my daughter as a chaperone, and I'm stoked about that, to walk through all that history with her. I love it.
D.C. is great. I love going there. Juanita Weeb?
Juanita Weeby. I know.
Weeby.
Yeah.
Weeby.
I
Sorry,
exactly
I messed up your
who
name.
she is.
Okay, so she wants to know what goes through your mind and how do you keep it together when you sing the song Sometimes I Wonder?
Well, it's a tough song to sing, and
I'm
there's
sure.
been a lot of things happen in the past year in our group and our families that have made that song even tougher to sing. And a lot of times you just have to go there in your mind. And you know what? Sometimes I don't make it through it, but I try to keep my mind on what we're doing and to keep it work. And there's times I'll fall apart, and that's just it. I'd love to sing, and I'd love to throw my heart in what I'm singing about. And you know what? If you mess it up or you lose it, I mean, that's part of it.
Right.
It's tough sometimes.
It's a great song. If you'll look on my channel, there on YouTube, I actually recorded you singing it when we sang together in Indiana, and I have it posted there so you guys can check it out. Great song. You do a great job on it. It's time for the Fouch Zone. You didn't see that coming, did you? You never know if I'm going to go crazy like this or if I'm just going to sit here. Anyways, have you seen the Fouch Zone before?
Well, I've kind of been warned, so I'm getting ready.
So you have a certain...
Do I need to put tennis shoes on or anything for this?
No.
Okay.
This is nothing to do with tennis shoes, but you have a certain amount of time to answer these questions. Okay. If you do not get the answer in that unspecified amount of time, we go directly to the next question.
Okay.
We'll see how many you can get out of 5.
Okay.
First question. How many hours of TV does the average Japanese household watch per day?
6.
Incorrect. How many head hairs does the average human lose per day? Time.
10,000.
What percent of the human body is water? Time. Buckingham Palace has how many rooms?
Blue. I don't know why blue. They have 13. They have 13.
And banging your head against the wall uses how many calories?
25. That's awful.
Okay, would you like a real chance here to answer the questions? I give everybody a chance. Okay, so how many hours of TV does the average Japanese household watch per day? You guessed 6.
Yes.
The answer's 9 hours.
Wow.
So you were actually surprisingly
bad.
close. You know what? This fire is getting hot.
Yeah, it is.
I'm
sweating. I'm melting.
Okay. How many head hairs does the average human lose per day?
I say 1,000.
It's 200.
Oh well, maybe it's just me.
Overshot it. Yeah, as you can see, I lose a few, more than probably 200 a day. And back here. What percent of the human body is water?
I would say
35%. I'm surprised you didn't know this. 80%.
Is it 80%?
Yeah. Buckingham Palace has how many rooms? Your answer was blue.
Yes, 13. I'm saying 13.
And then you said 30. The answer is 602.
Wow, I have no clue. I've even been there. I was trying to be fast.
But I'm sure they have a room called the Blue Room.
Oh.
So there's a...
Well, that's what I was talking about.
And banging your head against a wall uses how many calories?
I said 25.
150. So after you're done here, the reason I threw that one in there is because of the fitness.
Right.
After you're done here, if you just feel like
Banging,
losing some more calories, just head over to a wall and just start banging your head against it, and within a matter of minutes, you'll be lost 1,000 calories. So hey, thanks so much for joining On the Couch with Fouch. Thank you, Doug.
Thank you.
It's a lot of fun.
For having me.
Yes, man. And check out Doug's solo ministry, and check back the first of every month, a new interview with your favorite Southern gospel artist. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe here on YouTube, and we appreciate you guys watching. Any last words for them?
Love y'all. Thanks for everything.
Thank you.